Hey folks, my name is Dave and welcome to week 3 of my quad tendon rupture rehab process. And I think the biggest thing, improvement of week 3 is I am on my feet a whole lot more, which has really been awesome. In fact, if I look a little sweaty, that's because I've been out in the backyard and I got the weed whacker out and edged around the backyard, going very slowly, and no more flip-flops, things like that. So I've got good sturdy shoes on, and but just making like little baby steps, but felt so good to be able to do that. And then I got some head shears and whacked a couple of bushes and things like that too. So that pretty much wore me out, but it's awesome. So doing a lot of improvement there. I'm using a whole lot less ice than I was before. It used to be I craved it all the time. I had to have it. And now it's not so much that way. I can tell it's not burning up hot like it was. It's kind of warm to the touch. And so that's kind of the indication, like, all right, I need to get a little bit of ice on it. But the swelling has gone way down. So that's been a big improvement there too. So a couple of firsts that I've had this week. Yesterday, I was able to get in the front seat of a car. And so I had to push the seat all the way back, and even then, with a straight leg, I felt like my front of my foot is just like crammed as far against the floorboard as it'll go. Not really comfortable, but we went to a tile store, and it was probably about a 20-minute ride, and I did okay. I wouldn't want to go a whole lot further, in that situation, but it worked out well. And then in the store, I probably was on my feet for like 45 minutes, which is like really good. And but I was pretty worn out. So in coming back home, I got back in the back seat where I could just kind of recline and just sit sideways across the bench seat there. So anyway, that's a huge improvement for me. Some other first. So sleeping. Still kind of a struggle to get to sleep sometimes. It's just not comfortable. But the last couple days, I've like eliminated all the pillows that have been under my leg, and because it's just like been jacked up to the sky, and that was mostly for pain. But now it's like not so bad, and so I've been using without a pillow, and it's a whole lot easier to try to sleep that way. Still put ice on it as I'm going to sleep, and that helps. And I've even been able to kind of roll over on my side both ways a little bit, but not for very long, because the knee will start aching and tell me I can't do that. But it's for me, it's like just a great reminder of someday I'll be able to like sleep on my side again. And sleeping on your back the whole time is just drives you crazy. So. Okay, another first I had this week was physical therapy on Friday. And, your first session of physical therapy, it's a lot of questions. And so for the hour session, probably 45 minutes was just going over the injury and things like that, and lots of questions. But we did do some electrical stimulus to try to get my quad to fire. One thing I cannot do yet, I still cannot raise my leg up. And that's just because there's certain parts of the quad that haven't woke up yet, and so that will help that. And then she also gave me some additional exercises for like my hip, because we got to strengthen the whole side of that leg there. So anyway, it was good. I got another one on Friday. They would like to see me twice a week, but they're just totally booked, and like their sister place is totally booked as well. So that's always the hardest thing when you first start physical therapy is getting in on their schedule. So anyway, eventually we'll go twice a week. My coworkers gave me a really cool gift bucket this week. Dropped it by on Friday, and just full of games and toys and stuff like that. I work with a great bunch of folks, and it was so cool to get that. So everybody in my work group, thank you so much for doing that. That is really cool. So lots of good stuff in there, and I've been using them, and it's really been helping me pass the time when things would normally get kind of boring. So anyway, thank you so much for that. One of the things that was in my bucket was those old people grabber type things that so you don't have to bend over and pick up stuff. That was in there, and I'm telling you what, early on in the process, like when you first do that, you don't want to bend over at all, and so that would have been great to have like on day one, but it still comes in very handy right now too, and it's kind of a funny joke gift or whatever that you give somebody, but at the same time, it's actually a very helpful tool, so that's pretty cool. Which kind of reminds me, like the first week, I'm trying to do stuff on my own, and as hard as I can, and your body just can't do it. And so you try to fight against it, at least I do. And, the old pride kicks in, and it's like, I can do anything, I don't need anybody's help. And I remember trying to like get my socks on, and I'm like, reach, if I could just get a half inch more. And then I felt a rib just go blink. And so I pulled a rib out of socket, and because I was trying to get socks on by myself, and my wife's right in the next room. She would easily have loved to come in and done that, but I was too stubborn. So let people do stuff for you is what I'm trying to get at. So if you have people that are willing to help you, let them help you, and within a couple weeks you're going to be okay. And I can get socks on now. It just I'm not any more flexible, but well, maybe I am. I guess I guess the pain isn't there anymore, so I can do that. But so I had a YouTuber ask me a question on what kind of exercise I'm doing. They had the exact same thing happen to them, and they're actually 4 days ahead of me. They had surgery for quad tendon rupture on July 26th, and mine was on July 31st. So that's pretty cool that I have somebody I can kind of compare notes against and see how they're doing. So anyway, for you up in Vancouver, thank you for writing. So I'll show you the kind of exercises that I'm doing right now. There's only two really, along with the third hip one that my PT person was telling me to do. So anyway, without further ado, let me show you. Okay. First of all, you can kind of see my knee's looking pretty good, size-wise. It's a whole lot better than it was. So exercise-wise, the first exercise is like try to suck my knee down into the floor and really use my quad. Press my quad, make it get it as tight as I can, and hopefully it's moving all the way up here, and I can feel it. And then you do that for 5 seconds and hold it, rest, and then go in again and just like squeeze it as hard as you can. And after about 5 seconds, that's about it. So anyway, do that 10 times, 10 reps, and do that 5 times a day. The hang on here. The other exercise, I had to put this strap back on, and I just unhinged my my brace so I can go to 50 degrees. And so what I do is I bring my heel slowly up until it stops, and then I'm actually supposed to like put or use my hamstring to like really try to strengthen that up. So do that for 5 seconds, rest, bring it up, hold it, press for 5 seconds, and relax. Okay, so I think that's it for week 3. So anyway, we're doing good, and hope to see you back here next week.